Okay, for this project, it's going to be a little different. You're going to make a poster, but you're going to make a digital poster in Excel and Word or something very similar to it instead of actually doing a physical poster. And then you're going to send that poster to me in via Schoology. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do all of that right now. Okay, so when you do this activity here, you need to go to your desktop on one of the computers. So you've got to grab one of the little netbooks, and you've got to open up LibreOffice. I'm circling it right here. It's right on your desktop when you turn your computer on. So instead of going to the internet, you open up something called LibreOffice. What LibreOffice is it's something called an open source program. That means it's completely free. People just make it and give it out there for the public to use. And it is very, very similar to Microsoft Word, which you get charged money for, or Excel or PowerPoint. That whole Microsoft Office suite, it's very similar to that. Okay? So if you don't have Word or something like that at home, you can download LibreOffice and put it on your computer at home, and you'll be able to do everything you can do at school, but it's completely free and it's legal. It's not like you're doing anything illegal. You're allowed to use it for free. So once you have it opened up, you'll see a screen just like this, and we want to do the spreadsheet. So it looks like a normal spreadsheet, just like Excel that you would normally do, and this is what you've got to do. You've got to get on the internet. You've got to find 30 different cars. 30 different cars. And you need to find the model of the car, the year of the car, and then the miles per gallon they get on the highway, and the miles per gallon that they get in the city. Once you've done that, you'll have something. I've started a small column here, and I'll show you what I've got so far. You'll start collecting some data that kind of looks like this. Now, I've only done, if you count with me, I've only done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars so far, but you can see I have the year, I have the miles per gallon and on the highway, and the miles per gallon that a car gets in the city. So cars get different gas mileage if you drive them on the highway or if you do a lot of stop and go in the city. And normally it's not as good in the city as it is on the highway. Once you've put your 30 in, if you could center all this, and if you should know how to do this by now, but if you don't, if you highlight everything, and if you just hit the center button, it'll make a nice table for you. You can also see how I've highlighted my headings here. And so if you would highlight yours also, if you want to underline those also, sometimes those are underlined. So you just hit the underline right here, just like you normally would. Okay? And so I've only got 5. You're going to have 30. Instead of making a scatter plot yourself, Excel or LibreOffice can make one for you. And it's a pretty simple process. We want to make a scatter plot of the miles per gallon on the highway and the miles per gallon in the city. So I'm going to highlight both of those columns. By the way, if you don't know this, the way I'm highlighting these is I'm clicking on the one I want to start with. So I'm clicking right up here on miles per gallon highway. I'm holding down the shift button, and then I'm just doing the arrow keys. I'm arrowing down and arrowing over, and that's highlighting both columns. Once you have those 2 columns highlighted, then right up here at the top, you can see a little pie chart. If you put your mouse on top of it, it says chart. And I want you to click on that, and a chart will pop up on your screen. Now, this is a bar graph. We don't want a bar graph or a column graph. Instead, we want to choose a scatter plot because that's what we've been working with. So I'm going to click on scatter plot, and that will change it for me. Once you've clicked on scatter plot, just hit next. There's nothing that you have to do on this page. Hit next one more time. There's nothing you have to do on this page. Hit next one more time, and now your title. We're doing different cars and their gas mileage, so I'm going to make my title gas mileage. We don't need a subtitle. My x-axis. On my x, that's going to be miles per gallon on the highway. My y-axis is miles per gallon in the city. If you can see in the background here, I have the grid lines going across. If I want them going up and down also, if you click right here where it says x-axis, now if you watch in the background, see how now I have the entire grid there? And then just hit finish. Okay? So I've got my table, I've got my graph. Once you've done that, I'd like you to click on your graph somewhere not on a line right in the middle like I did, and you'll get these bars around it. Okay? And then click on one of the dots, and all of the dots will turn this green. As soon as they've done that, if you'd right-click on any dot and go to Insert a Trend Line, what Excel or LibreOffice can do for you is it can find a line of best fit for you. Just like when we do linear regression on your calculator, the spreadsheet can do it for you also. So you're going to insert a trend line. And we want it to be linear because it looks like it's going to be linear. I'd like it to show the equation. So I'm going to click on that also. And then I'm going to hit OK. And you see I have my equation right here. If you could drag that down a little bit so it's not in the way of the line. And then I think these have a few too many decimals. If you double click on the equation, go over to numbers, and if you click on all, change the decimal places to only 1. Then hit OK. And you'll see how that made it a lot smaller for us. So that's our equation, our line of best fit. Okay? Now I just clicked off it somewhere to make it look like this. All right, so now we've got our table, we've got our graph. This is the last thing you need to do. Now you need to go to File, New, and you're going to open up a text document. So this is like opening up Word. Okay? We are going to call this gas mileage. So at the very top, I'm going to have a heading that says something like gas mileage. On the left here, I'm going to do my hypothesis or my introductory paragraph. Actually, let's not do a hypothesis. Instead, what I want you to do is right here, I want you to go ahead and insert your graph and your table. The way you're going to do that is go back. You can see down here at the bottom, it'll say that you've got two things open. If you go back to your graph, your spreadsheet, if you highlight the table and copy it by right-clicking and do copy, and then go back and paste it into your Word document. So there's your table. Go down a little bit and do the same thing with your graph. So I'm going to go back to my sheet here. I'm going to click on the outside so that my green bars are all around. Now watch the difference here. If you click on the inside, if I click on the inside, oh, green bars on the outside is good enough. Okay, so we've got green bars on the outside all the way around. And then right-click, copy. Go back to the Word document, right-click, paste. And now you can see I've got my table, I've got my graph. Underneath that then, I want you to write your paragraph explaining what you notice about gas mileage on the highway and in the city. In other words, what I'm asking you to do is I'm asking you to answer these questions. Is there a correlation? If there is, what type of correlation is there? Is it a positive and negative? Is it strong positive, strong negative? You know, what is it? Okay? Once you've done that and what you've noticed, then I want you to answer this question last. Using your function that you created, I want you to answer this question. If there was a car that got on the highway, they got 60 miles per gallon, then what would the miles per gallon in the city be according to your function? So using your function here that you got from your trend line, if there was a car that had 60 miles per gallon on the highway, then what would you expect the city miles per gallon to be? Okay? Once you've done all that, go ahead and save it. And then let Mr. Cossey or Mr. Hammond know that you've got it saved, and we'll show you how to submit that on Schoology to us, okay? But we'll look at it first to make sure it's good, and then you can submit it to us through Schoology. Okay, all right. So if you have any questions as you're doing this, remember you've got to look up 30. I only did 5 or so here, so you've got many more than what I did. So don't just copy exactly what I did. And try to find some different years and things also as you're doing this project. All right?